Hey guys, just got done my workout for Wednesday. You got done Tuesday, that big 20-minute AMRAP. It's definitely a grinder. I was feeling pretty wore down and beat down. So today was a nice change, nice quick workout. Both the conditioning and the midline today, not too long a time frame. So we're meant to hit that intensity pretty hard. It is an interval workout, the conditioning, and it's enticing. The way the format is set up for it, you're really meant to go after as fast as you can do these with good reps. Because if you read the fine print, your score is devil's press, and it's actually getting done devil's press. If you don't read the fine print, it looks like you're doing max rep devil's presses at the end of each 2-minute AMRAP, except for that third one is a 3-minuter. But really, you're trying to achieve 50 devil's presses, single arm devil's presses. Once you're done the 50th devil's press, you're done. So your score is actually your time getting 50 done. Now there is 2-minute work, 2-minute rest for 3 rounds, and in the 4th round we're giving you 3 minutes. For those people that are maybe a little bit slower in these movements, it's giving you a little extra time to get that 50th rep done, hopefully in under that 15-minute time frame. If you're not quite able to do it, then your score for time would be the 15 minutes, and then the amount of devil's presses that you're able to do. So for anybody that wants a little bit of a goal on what to do and how fast to go on this workout, I was able to do it in 13 minutes. So every 2-minute interval that I got to work, I was able to hit 15 devil's presses. So in 3 rounds, that got me to 45, and then it took me a minute to get the skip, the burpees, and then that those 5 devil's presses to top out at 50. So yeah, that's your goal. Really sprinted on my skipping. I stayed nice and low and fast. On the burpees, really fast, sprinted those as well, and then settled into kind of a nice steady pace on the devil's presses, knowing I'd have over a minute to do them. So if I went sprinted, I probably would have died at the end anyway. So I just tried to maintain a really good pace on them, and I had a goal of 15 reps. I even finished a little bit early. Some rounds probably could have got maybe 1 more in, but I opted just to hold 15 as that felt like the right thing to do for me. So let's talk about your warm-up. We have basically kind of 3 rounds. You're going to do 30 single unders every round, and then we're pairing that with step back alternating or reverse alternating lunges and kettlebell swings up to eye level, so the Russians. So skipping, just some points of performance on this. We want a good upper body position with our arms, hands, shoulders set back. So what we want is elbows behind the back, and a good way to think of it is putting your shoulder blades in your back pocket. So you're trying to pinch and set the shoulders back. It really kind of relaxes the shoulders, get you set. Now it doesn't mean you're arching into it, it just means your midline's nice and tight, you're just setting the shoulders back. Okay, that relaxes. Sometimes when we hunch forward, we get tight here, or if we have the arms out like this, we get really tight through the shoulders, and we're just trying to get our shoulders nice and relaxed. So as we're skipping, again, we're flicking the wrist. So it takes 1 arm swing to get it going. I'm not going to skip, but once you're going, then you just really try to minimize using your arms to create the rotation. It's just a flicking of the wrist. Okay, and there's a couple things you can do to get a little more efficient. Try not to super grip the handles. Okay, you don't want to just break these things. You just want to be fingertip grip, because you want to be flicking these things. So you just want a nice light grip on it, like so. Okay. Anybody that is pretty proficient at double unders is trying to maximize their score on this workout. Low and fast, okay? Really rapid fire. 50 for those type of people isn't that many, so you're just trying to get through it as fast as possible. I think I had 1 trip up. I was pretty surprised, because usually when I try to sprint those faster ones, I mess up more than that, so it felt pretty good today. So yeah, you're going to do 30 single unders in the warm-up. So once you're done 30 single unders, you're into the step back lunges. We've been doing lots of lunges this week. So I don't really need to go over them, but it is a really good warm-up for what's coming, getting the hips warmed up. You're going to be coming out of those devil's press, getting some hip extension, so it's good warm-up for the hip area, the glute, the posterior chain. And then we're pairing that with kettlebell swings. There's a lot of them. I think there 60 altogether. So you're meant to do this with a lighter kettlebell. I have one because Jeannie brought one home that was a little bit lighter from the gym, so I was able to use it. So if you got a little bit lighter one than you'd use in a workout, grab it. If not, you can modify reps. Okay, so instead of 30, 20, and 10, you can maybe just stay at 15 all the way across or something like that. Find a rep scheme where it's warming you up, it's not too easy, it's not too hard. But yeah, it's really going to help your devil's presses once you get there, so working on keeping the shoulders set back and aggressive hip drive. Leg and hip drive to elevate. Hip hinge and then all through the hips. We're not using the arms to elevate. So again, 3 rounds. Every round is a 30 single under start, and then the reps go 30, 20, 10, alternating step back lunges. That's a total of 30, so 15 each side, and pairing out with kettlebell swings. Okay. Again, you can minimize or reduce the kettlebell swings if you got a heavy kettlebell. Stick with something like 10, 15 per round or something like that if you got a pretty big kettlebell. Okay, you're done now. We got to get specifically warmed up for the workout. We have devil's presses. Sorry, I just got to go grab a dumbbell. We have lateral burpees, and we have skipping. So your setup's pretty important. The way I was able to set it up, obviously you got to watch where you're skipping so you don't hit the roof, but you want to minimize the footprint so you don't have to go too far to get to each piece of equipment, because transition's very important in this fast 2-minute AMRAP. You got to be moving quick, all right? So you can start with the skipping. We talked about that already, low and fast. You can opt for double taps. If you're doing double taps, we're not wanting to be low and fast with those. We want you guys practicing what you're going to need to actually get your double under. So it's a higher jump, only tap when you're in the air, and we're sprinting when we do it. We don't want to jump, stop, jump, stop. It's not teaching you the timing or what you need to do for double under. So that's your double tap. And we have single unders as well. They just at equal reps. Okay. What I suggest on the single unders, if you're trying to go for those double unders, just don't do rapid fire, really slow or really fast low ones, because you're never going to learn the timing for a double under. Do higher, slower ones. Okay? Something like that type pace on that, if you can or increase and decrease your pace. As soon as you get done your skipping, we have the lateral burpee. So staying nice and close to your dumbbell. You're meant to jump over your dumbbell, so it's important when you come up out of your burpee to be right beside your dumbbell with your feet. So when you start, you should be standing right beside your dumbbell. If you're standing back here, obviously when you come back out of that burpee, you're probably going to be back here and not actually jumping over your dumbbell. So start right beside your dumbbell with your feet. You do the kick out or step back. You come up. Your feet are right beside your dumbbell. You do this lateral hop over. Now you don't need to stand up as tall as I just did. You can stay a little bit lower. Because it is a lateral burpee, you don't need to stand all the way up. All right, 5 of those, rapid fire. Trying to go seamlessly right into your devil's presses. So I've just done 4 lateral burpees. I'm going into my 5th one. I come over, boom, hands on the dumbbell, and I get right into my first devil's presses. I was switching on the fly, putting it in my other hand, down, hitting that next rep. Now as far as technique on the devil's press, I was doing the drag in between my legs to get a little bit more momentum, and using the kettlebell type hip drive to get elevation. So from a little bit of a side angle, I was hitting my burpee, coming out, dragging, and then single dumbbell snatching. It's important that you don't just kettlebell swing it out wide like that. You want to use the leg and hip drive, but lead with the elbow and keep that dumbbell a little bit closer. Switching on the fly, try to do it below your head, set down. You could also just set it down and then grab it with your other hand, okay? Yeah, so we talked about the format of the workout already. I don't really need to go over that. So with that, a little bit of a break coming off that, and you're into the midline. Looks pretty unassuming on the programming, but it was tougher than I thought. What I really found hard about it was the first few rounds. You're just planking the whole time. It's only 2 sit-ups, 4 sit-ups, 6 sit-ups. So basically you're planking with a tiny little rest in between. As the sit-ups reps get increase and get bigger, seem to get easier because you're getting a little bit more rest with those sit-ups. And the sit-ups are for sure the rest in this thing. So it's a 6-minute AMRAP. You are doing 2 sit-ups. You're turning over and you're planking. Now what I suggest for ease, I do have a clock on my wall, but it's hard to look up at a clock. So I got my phone, and I got the SmartWatt timer going just in front of my face where I could see it. I would suggest doing the same so you don't have to cock your head sideways looking at clocks or whatever you're using. A lot of you guys are using your phones anyway. So just to give you a little idea how it's going, I would have my setup here. My phone would be just back here. I did arm swing because I wanted to get more of the planking in. So I wanted to be pretty quick in the sit-up. So I opted for a butterfly position. You could also do straight leg ones if you choose to. You can make them strict if you want to put more of the emphasis on the sit-up. So anyways, I did them like this. Up, I did my second rep, turned right over, hit my plank right away. Did my 30 seconds from the moment I got done my sit-up. So I was like 5 seconds doing 2 sit-ups. So then I went to the 35-second mark to get done my 30-second plank right into my 4 sit-ups. You get the idea. Sit-ups, plank, trying to have quick transitions, trying to be unbroken. I was able to just keep planking, keep doing sit-ups. I think, maybe in the beginning there was a pretty slow transition from the sit-up to the plank to give myself a little bit more break, but like I said, the sit-ups got higher up in reps. I didn't really need, I could have that quick transition because the sit-ups were the rest anyway. All right. What else? I think that's it, guys. Nothing else to really pass on about that. The takeaway is, it's a really short workout. It's a short training day in general. Attack this thing. Go after it with as much intensity as you can to get the most out of it. And you may feel like you want to do more. You can, I guess. But what I would just do is look at the whole week. Yesterday was a pretty good grinder. Today's just meant to be a little bit quicker, more intense workout to get us ready for what's to follow. So hopefully you enjoy it. We'll see you next time, guys.